Alright, hey guys, Levi here. So, kind of going along with yesterday's theme, I decided to go over some good sex toys for FTMs, specifically once you've started testosterone and had a little bit of bottom growth. Because the regular female-oriented toys don't necessarily work for our anatomy. So, over the last couple years, I've come across some really awesome things that I decided to share with you guys, in case you didn't know they existed. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the womanizer, which is going to be this one here. Ignore the cheetah print, it was free. But this toy, it sucks the clit, so it simulates really good oral sex. This thing is amazing. The first time I used it, it was not used for very long, because I didn't need to use it very long, let's just put it that way. The next toy that I'm going to talk about is, oh, by the way, this toy runs around $160 or so. This is the first model of it. I'm sure you can probably find it maybe cheaper on Amazon. This is just what my company happens to sell it for retail. This is the first model. There's, I think, like 3 or 4 now. So if you're looking for a good kind of toy and you kind of want to go like top of the line, womanizers, awesome, boom. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Satisfier. It is kind of the same thing as, it is the same thing as the womanizer. It's made by a different company. This one, I like to compare them as like, this is the Jaguar, and then this is kind of like the Honda. It'll get you there, it's just not necessarily as quiet of a ride. If you can tell, this one is a lot louder than the womanizer is. So if you want something quiet, go with this. They both do essentially the same thing. They both suck the clit. They both work in under 5 minutes, so that's always a good thing. I know that BuzzFeed did a video on the womanizer. I mean, they had a couple of their people like comparing it and talking about their use of it. I can say, if you've seen that BuzzFeed video, everything they said is true. It's freaking amazing. This one, the exact same effect. It is a little bit bigger, but I actually kind of like it better as far as like holding it, just because it's easier to hold on to. This is, to me, is kind of an awkward shape. And this one, the buttons are on the bottom, so it's kind of annoying when you like, if you like arch into it and then you end up like changing the speed on accident. But I do know that the womanizer did fix that with some of their newer models. The buttons are actually on the top now. Kind of like the Satisfier, buttons here. This one has 11 different intensities. Let me turn it off so you can hear me. The Satisfier has 11 different intensities. This is a Satisfier Pro 2. I know that Satisfier also has like 5 or 6 different models of this same kind of basic toy. They have a couple different shapes. They have some that are rechargeable, some that are battery operated. The one that I have, the Pro 2, is a rechargeable toy. It runs about $90 retail, so a little bit less expensive than the womanizer, but like I said, definitely a lot louder than the womanizer. So if you live with parents or roommates and you want to keep things a little bit more on the DL, maybe not necessarily the best toy for you. The next one I'm going to talk about is this little control rabbit. I cannot remember the exact name of this toy. I know that this specific one, NSN, makes it, but I also know that a couple other companies kind of make the same basic shape. And basically the thing that I like about this is that it's a control vibrator, obviously. The ears aren't completely together, and there is a good enough space in here that like you could fit in between, which is nice, because I know that me personally, and I've talked to some other guys who have like tried to use like different like rabbit sex toys and stuff like that have control simulators that go directly on top of the clit. It's a little bit too intense, or it's downright painful, just because it's like a firm object that's like just pushing against it, which you may think would sound good, but bone or not necessarily, a little bit too painful. So I really like this because you can go in between, on top, however you so choose, whatever dizzies your world, so to speak. But basically any toy that's shaped like this is going to be a good one. You can also do some stroking with it if you wanted to, or you could just kind of put yourself just right there and just kind of leave it. So, however you want. Sorry I keep stepping out of frame. The way the camera's sitting is like, I'm glad you guys got a good shot of that. Let's see. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is just a simple vibrator for those guys out there who do like some penetration. I'm not really like into a lot of huge penetration. Obviously, you know what a dildo is, vibrator. I usually just suggest, if you're going to buy a vibrator for most trans dudes, to get one that does not have a control simulator, not something that's just going to be a straight up and down, nothing super like extra or whatever, because you don't know how growing into it may affect you, and you're going to be really upset if you buy like a really nice $100 rabbit that has, and you can't use it because it hurts. I'm speaking from personal experience, and I've heard from other dudes as well. You don't want to do that because there's some really nice rabbits out there that do really amazing things, but if you grow to the point where it's not comfortable for your anatomy anymore, it's kind of like money wasted because it's not like you can return it because it'll, yeah. Anyway, I also like to suggest having like a vibrating cock ring around is always good. A lot of them, you can put them around like any dildo that you might have, and then it'll kind of make that dildo into a vibrating one because the vibration will travel through the rest of it. So for those of you who like penetration, that's always a good idea as well. So I showed you guys a couple different ones. All of these have various price ranges. I'll go over them again really quickly. The Womanizer is about $160. Satisfier is about $90 for the rechargeable version. The $40, the battery operated one sells for $40. So, you know, on a budget, not too horrible. You can find just about any basic internal toy for as little as like $15. Though I will say, with sex toys, you get what you pay for. So if it's $15, it might not necessarily be the highest quality thing out there. So, next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to kind of make your own sex toy. A lot of guys that have had bottom growth and they want to be able to like kind of have like a fleshlight type deal, or what some people call a pocket pussy. Fleshlight's actually a brand, but any like a male stroker, basically something they can stroke themselves with that makes them feel like they're penetrating something. I have tried a lot of different ones to kind of like simulate that same thing. The best thing that I have found was actually something that I made, so I figured I would show you guys how to make it. Now, it's also probably the cheapest option as like a simple kind of like vibrator goes. So, basically, get yourself a $10 bullet. Boom. This is, I think this is from Screamo. There's literally probably like 1,000 different bullets on the market. Find one you like that has good vibration, pick one up. This one was, I think, like $7. And then go out and get yourself a girth enhancer. They made for cis men that are on the smaller side to kind of give themselves a little bit more thickness for their partner, but they are also perfect for us for masturbation. So basically what you're going to do is, it's going to be the most simple thing you've ever seen. Oh, and for the record, this is $11. So you can find one of these for as little as $5, and this was $11. I've seen them online for like $6. I think it's made by Pipe Dream. So basically what you're going to do is, you're going to take it, if you want a little bit of extra sensation, take the whole thing. It's ribbed on the outside. Just flip it inside out. There you go. And then it is like the perfect kind of size for any trans guy that's had like even the tiniest bit of bottom growth, because it actually feels like you're penetrating something. Put a little lube on there, or if you want to get really fancy with it, something that tingles, and then have a wild time. And then take the bullet and put it on the end of it, and kind of like seal the other side. Okay, so of course my video cut out right as I was almost done. Basically, put the clitoral bullet on the other end, seal it. It's going to kind of provide like a suction type of sensation, and then you're able to fit in the other side. Vibrating stroker. $22, super easy to make. Also, most importantly, if you live with other people, super easy to conceal when you're done. But yeah, those are just a couple of ideas. Also, I will say, put lube in this, because if you don't, it's not a fun experience. Just saying. But yeah, I hope that was helpful for some of you. Probably TMI for those of you who know me, but you saw what the video was about before you started watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.